With a news update on WHTC Holland's Cool FM, I'm Gary Stevens. A 73-year-old Holland man was critically injured following a motorcycle versus pickup crash south of Grand Haven on Saturday morning. No names were disclosed by the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office as first responders were dispatched to the area of US 31 and 152nd Avenue just before 11 a.m. That was where the motorcycle operator was forced to lay his machine down and subsequently slid into the side of the pickup truck, which had entered the highway from 152nd Avenue and into the path of the motorcycle. The biker was taken to an unnamed area hospital for treatment, while a 46-year-old West Olive man driving the pickup was not hurt. The incident remains under investigation. A 25-year-old Hudsonville man was hurt while attempting to cross a roadway west of Jenison on Friday afternoon. According to the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office, the unnamed pedestrian was trying to get across 28th Avenue at Baldwin Street around 12:30 p.m. when he was hit by a Georgetown Township fire engine attempting to turn left from westbound Baldwin. Life EMS staffers treated the stricken man at the scene before transporting him to a local hospital for treatment of undisclosed injuries. The two men in the fire truck were not hurt. The matter has been turned over to the Michigan State Police for further investigation. Holland's Outdoor Discovery Center wants to strengthen its long-standing ties with the city of Saugatuck. During last Wednesday's City Council workshop, members of the governing panel looked over a request from the nature-based nonprofit for a $5,000 financial investment. The money would be used to continue efforts in addressing environmental restoration, recreation, conservation, and education for the Kalamazoo River Greenway. City Manager Ryan Cummins is recommending approval of the ODC's request, and that's something Mayor Pro Tem Joe Clark is in agreement with.
You asked us for $5,000 last year, and I think at the time I said I'd like to, when you come back to us, see some return on investment. I'm clearly seeing that, and so I'm very supportive of another $5,000 this year, given the financial progress you've made, in addition to the very good work that you've done for the environment. So I'm all in favor.
Council will also be asked to accept a donation the network secured from the Saugatuck Douglas Rotary Club for a kayak launch during this evening's 6:30 p.m. business meeting at Saugatuck City Hall off of Butler Street. An online link to the agenda and supporting documents is in this story at WHTC.com. The Zeeland Township Board is holding a special meeting tonight once the governing panel emerges from a closed session to go over ongoing litigation against Silver Maple PV LLC, which it is challenging the constitutionality of State Public Act 233, which preempts local control over the regulation of wind, solar, and energy storage facilities. There will be interviews of 4 finalists for the interim manager position, vying to take over on a short-term basis for Josh Eggleston, who is leaving later this month to become Holland Township's manager. Our former Park Township manager Howard Fink, Double Hall Solutions founder and CEO Nate Greinzer, one-time Menominee manager Tony Graff, and former Salem Township trustee David Trent. Should the board agree on a suitable candidate, another special meeting is slated for Thursday evening at 5:30 to approve a contract. A search for a permanent manager is expected after that. It is also the first meeting of this panel since last Tuesday's primary election, in which incumbent Supervisor Kerry Bosma was defeated by challenger Dan Kirkstra for the GOP nomination. Kirkstra would be running unopposed on the November 3rd general election ballot. The Zeeland Township Board's 5:30 p.m. meeting is at the Township Hall off of Byron Road. An online link to the agenda and supporting documents is in this story at WHTC.com. The Lowell Township Planning Commission is expected to propose an ordinance about data centers during tonight's meeting. The Lowell City Council last week voted to suspend negotiations with the township, impacting the plans by Microsoft for a data center there. Other communities are also considering similar actions.
Kalamazoo City Commissioners will receive a report this afternoon on imposing a moratorium on permits for new data centers, like other local jurisdictions and communities across the country have already done. Vice Mayor Drew Duncan says he wants it to be over 2 years. Proponents say data centers create jobs and pay local property taxes. Opponents of them, however, complain that they compete for limited local resources and create noise pollution. I'm Michael Arney.
State police say 2 28-year-old women and 1 9-year-old child have been found alive after a 3-day search in Newaygo County for them after they had disappeared while tubing on the Muskegon River. The 3 were found just after 4:30 on Friday afternoon, about a quarter-mile northeast of the Mill Iron boat launch in Muskegon County. 2 of the 3 had to be carried out of the woods, and all 3 were hospitalized. A dirt bike rider was hospitalized following a crash with an SUV near Dorr on Friday evening. Allegan County Sheriff's deputies and other first responders were dispatched to the intersection of 14th Street and 144th Avenue shortly after 6 p.m. That was where the southbound bike apparently went through a stop sign and was hit by the westbound SUV. The biker was taken to an undisclosed area hospital with serious injuries, while the driver and a passenger in the SUV were not hurt. No names or hometowns were revealed as the incident remains under investigation. It was mission accomplished on Saturday night for Jim Dreyer. The ultramarathon swimmer from Spring Lake concluded a 22-mile-plus effort from a point in Lake Michigan into White Lake in Muskegon County, arriving around 10 p.m. at Goodrich Park in Whitehall. He was towing 249 6-pound cannonballs in 2 dinghies, along with one on his back to honor his late father, in celebrating this nation's 250th birthday. To raise funds for the construction of a U.S. 250th Combat Veterans Memorial in Whitehall, and to raise awareness of the current daily average of 22 suicides by veterans nationally. It took Dreyer about 30 hours to complete the journey, which included a time out of the water on Saturday afternoon when he was drifting southward on Lake Michigan, away from his target entrance of White Lake Channel, and had to be taken by a support boat to a spot back on the path. His arrival was a fitting climax to the 3-day White Lake Area Maritime Festival, which was returning after a 14-year hiatus. Dreyer, who turned 63 later this month, has successfully crossed all 5 Great Lakes during his nearly 3-decade career as a marathon swimmer.
Lots of great memories. I mean, memories to last a lifetime. And it's always been for a good cause. And, I mean, these causes are certainly larger than me. And if you're swimming for something that's larger than you, and that's your motivation, at least for me, the way it works out is it's also larger than the obstacles I face, and that keeps you going.
US 131 between 994 and Parkview Avenue in Kalamazoo County will soon be the Master Sergeant Gregory T. Cruz Memorial Highway to honor an Air Force member killed on October 11th of 2015 in Afghanistan.
Cruz was 38 when he died in a non-hostile crash of a British helicopter. He graduated from Comstock High School in 1995. He was a married father of 4. The State House and Senate both passed Senate Bill 274 unanimously earlier this year to rename the highway for him. A dedication ceremony is set to be held this morning. I'm Michael Arning.
University of Michigan's Liberal Arts College says it will hide grades for incoming freshmen during their first semester to curb the mental health crisis among students. Starting this fall, the Public Research University's College of Literature, Science, and the Arts will grade freshmen in their first semester on a pass, no-credit basis instead of letter grades. The college said students will still know their grades and receive feedback from professors, but their grades would not be factored into GPAs. Transcripts will state that all first-semester courses were automatically passed no credit. The college will said students will start seeing their grades recorded in their transcripts and their GPAs in the second semester. Wyoming High School has held its first football practice of the season, opening under the lights this morning at 12:01 a.m. at the school's Jack Verdun Stadium. Food trucks were set up at 6 p.m. last night for players and their families and friends. Today is the first day gridiron teams can begin workouts for the upcoming campaign, which begins on August 27th. We'll bring you the Godwin Heights versus Holland game that night on WHTC, Holland's Cool FM. High-U Lee's RBI single in the 10th inning broke a 1-1 tie as A.J. Hinch's Tigers outlasted the Giants in San Francisco yesterday 3-1.
We needed to pitch well to lock it up with Logan Webb on the mound on the other side. He was really good. Our guys matched him. Troy, obviously, Finney came in, got kind of dinged for a run, and then Summers had, quite an effort to get out of the issue that he was in. And I love the emotion. So obviously a lot of big outs, some big at-bats at the end. We got the 10th inning in our favor where we scored a couple runs, but key moments in close games always stand out.
Idle tonight, Detroit hosts the Cleveland Guardians at Comerica Park tomorrow evening with broadcast time at 6:15 p.m. on WHTC Holland's Cool FM. Matthew Boyd spun 7 innings of 5-hit, 3-strikeout baseball as the Cubs topped the Royals in Kansas City yesterday 10-2.
Mickey was awesome back there. Called a great game. Played some really awesome defense. Happer made a great play out there. We were Breggy, Dan's, Nico. He was making good plays all around. And, we came out early aggressive with the bats, and it was a good team win.
Idle tonight, Chicago faces the Nationals in Washington tomorrow evening. Colson Montgomery's 3-run homer broke a 2-2 tie and capped a 4-run third inning as the White Sox defeated the visiting Cleveland Guardians yesterday 5-3.
It's huge. These games are, big games, not just for now, but, later into September and things like that. So getting two games was big.
Idle tonight, Chicago's home to the Cincinnati Reds at Wright Field tomorrow evening. Bo Anarchy homered and drove in 3 runs as the Whitecaps took out the Tin Caps in Fort Wayne yesterday, 8-2. Idle tonight, West Michigan entertains the Lansing Lugnuts at LMCU Ballpark in Comstock Park tomorrow evening. Get the latest news anytime at WHTC.com.